Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Matt Bernier, DRF.com Formulator Race of the Day, a special one for Monday, and it's a special day because it's opening day at Santa Anita, featuring 4 graded stakes races, where it's $1 million guaranteed, pick 4 as well. And the race of the day is a good one. It's the Grade 1 Malibu. It's the traditional opening day feature at the Great Race Place. It's race number 8. It's at 7 furlongs. It's for 3-year-olds. Let's take a look at the field, and I want to remind everybody, head on over to the event page, the Race of the Day event page on DRF.com. Download those 3 Formulator past performances and scan along with us. The number 1's Navy Hymn for Richard Baltus. Navy Hymn was claimed for 40. He's got a couple of wins in him. He was a stakes-placed runner last time out in Damascus. He's got big speed down towards the inside. I do have some questions about quality, but boy, does he love racing at Santa Anita.
Big speed, you know where they're going to be. You're going to be forwardly placed if you like this horse. I don't know that he's necessarily this good. I feel like this is the kind of horse, if at some point he's back in for a tag during this year, boy, wouldn't he be interesting in a race like the Claiming Crown.
Actually, would be a really nice spot, wouldn't it, for Navy Hymn? He's very, very fast out of the gate, and he's trained by a good one in Richard Baltus. The number 2 is Mind Your Biscuits. Now, while Navy Hymn's got big early speed, Mind Your Biscuits likes to rally from off the pace, as he did in the Breeders' Cup Sprint, and he ran just fine, finishing 3rd. It was a nice ride by Joel Rosario, who saved ground. He altered out in mid-stretch. He just wasn't as good as the top 2 that day. Give this horse some pace. He's going to rally. Do you think his kick's going to be as effective at 7?
Boy, that's an interesting point, because you go through and look at his career. It seems like he does his best work at 6 or 6.5. I don't think the distance is going to be a major problem for him. I thought he was a hair late to change leads most recently, but maybe that was because of that severe alteration of course trying to get out into the clear. Look, I think he's honest. I don't think he's a superstar. But if you think the pace is going to set up for a horse to come from off the pace, why not a horse like this that arguably is in the best form out of them all?
You and I always like cutbacks at these 7 furlong distance, and the number 3 Semper Fortis is turning back from 1 mile and a 16th. Here's the deal with Semper Fortis. A, he seems to lose photos a lot. His last 4 races, he's been right there. He's lost by a half length, a length ahead, a half length, and not against the quality of competition he's going to be facing in the Malibu. So A, I wonder, does he want to beat you? B, I wonder how good he is at the end of the day. Can he beat these?
Yeah, I don't think he's this good. And you know what, maybe he'll prove me wrong, but you look at his 2 career victories. One of them came at 5 furlongs in a maiden 62.5 race down at Del Mar. The other one came 2 turns at Los Alamitos. After that, he's just kind of a nibbler. Again, if he's the kind of horse that if he wins, I just throw my hands up and say, good on you if you had him.
The great Bob Baffert has 3 horses in this year's Malibu. Let's begin with the number 4, 10 Blessings, one of our Formulator fact runners. Over the past 3 years, with just 3-year-old last out winners in dirt sprints off a mini layoff, he's 10 for 16 with a $3.23 return on investment. That's pretty good. 10 Blessings, beautifully bred horse, exploded to win last time out at this distance against optional claiming foes. This is a giant step up in class. The question I have for you is, do you buy that buyer, and if you do, can he replicate it?
Well, I mean, if he runs that race again and you believe the 106, he's going to win. I mean, no one else in this race is fast enough to run a 106. The question becomes, like you say, do you truly believe that buyer? He was well clear of the field. You had a couple next out winners, most notably Distinctive B, who came back at Los Al, but one with an 88. I have to be honest, I've never liked 10 Blessings. I've never thought he was that good. But like you say, he's bred to be a good horse, and maybe it just took some time for him to put it all together. I won't be surprised if he wins. I also won't be surprised if he bombs.
You understand why he got that fig on November the 4th. He ran 7 furlongs in 121.60. The Damascus Stakes, $100,000 race that same day, that same distance, 122.63. Over a second faster was 10 Blessings race, and it seems like he's got a little bit of tactical speed, and he can track the pace, and one of the pace horses is right next door. That's another Baffert-trained runner, Jazzy Times, who tried to rake last time out, and he attacked St. Joe Bay on the outside, and St. Joe Bay just flicked him away. I guess it was a disappointing performance in the fact that he couldn't hold second over the Gomper. That bothered me with Jazzy Times, and I'm beginning to wonder, I know he has that one fast race, is he good enough to take down a field like this?
For me, there's a couple of different things here with this horse. One, I think he needs the lead. I understand he took his shot last time against St. Joe Bay, and St. Joe Bay was on the turn back from Miller, which is just lethal. At the end of the day, you're supposed to run second to him. You're not supposed to fade as badly as you did. And really, for me, that's sort of the bigger piece, number 2. I don't think 7 is what he wants. I think he's a 6 furlong, stone cold, 3/4, just try to wire the field, drop the hammer, and go. I don't think it works here.
The number 6 is Who's Out, going out for Jerry Hollendorfer. And this horse has been a little bit frustrating for Hollendorfer, a $350,000 purchase, who has some ability. He doesn't seem to get out of the gate very well, but we do have a Hollendorfer formulator fact, and this horse should be a good price. Past 2 years with just 3-year-olds sprinting on dirt in graded stakes at Santa Anita, 5 for 9 with a big ROI, $5.93. He does have a nice tactical gear, but he was no match for Jazzy Times last time out, and Jazzy Times didn't exactly run great.
The horse has been a tremendous disappointment to me. You know, you go back, I thought the race at Del Mar on July the 30th, that should have set him up beautifully for a run in the King's Bishop. And I thought he was terrible. I understand he ran second, but boy, he was handled in that spot by Conquest Cobra. Most recently, he was late with the lead change. If you can't get to Jazzy Times in a race like that, how are you supposed to do it here? Maybe he all of a sudden just wakes up and puts it all together. To me, he's been a disappointment. I'm against him.
Number 7, Sharp Azteca, ships west for high percentage trainer Jorge Navarro. We have a formulator fact for Navarro. This is seemingly his specialty. Yeah. Past 3 years with just 3-year-olds, last out winning dirt sprinter, second off the layoff, 6 for 9, a $4.55 return on investment. Now this horse exploded onto the scene, winning the Pat Day Mile in the spring. Last time out in the City of Laurel Stakes, he went right after the odds-on winner early, and he looked like the Sharp Azteca of old. Now, does Navarro going to be able to duplicate these races outside of the Mid-Atlantic area? Yeah. He hasn't done it in New York. Can he do it in Southern California?
We'll find out. I like this horse. I liked him back in the Pat Day Mile. And really, I suppose I can go through these past 4 races and say, Pat Day Mile ran that giant race. I think it was legit. The City of Laurel race, I think that was legit as well. Woody Stevens, he was one of the few pace setters that was still there at the end. Everyone else just kind of fell by the wayside. And he doesn't want 2 turns when they ran in the parade.
And Texas Chrome's a good horse,
and Texas Chrome's a nice little horse. So I think there's a lot to like about this horse. I picked him second in here. I'm not going to be surprised if he runs a big race. But if anyone has the concerns that you laid out about Navarro outside of the Mid-Atlantic, outside of Florida, I can't argue with you. Until he proves that he can do it with a horse other than Private Zone, I think it's a fair concern.
Baffert might have all the bases covered from simple handicapping tenets, basic handicapping tenets. He's got a speed horse in Jazzy Times, he's got a sharp fig horse in 10 Blessings, and he arguably has the class with the number 8 More Spirit, who hasn't been out since the Kentucky Derby, and he was in against the big names, Nyquist and Exaggerator and Gunrunner. This is a Grade 1 winner. He won the Los Alamitos Futurity as a 2-year-old. Does he really want 7? That's the question. I think if he gets some pace, this horse is going to run well, and Baffert has done this in the past. He's won this race with 3-year-olds cutting back off long layoffs.
Yeah, he won this race with I'm Stepping It Up, who was off a very, very long layoff a few years back. I'll admit, I really liked this horse as a 2-year-old, early as a 3-year-old, and then he started getting a little bit weird, where he would seemingly idle
spots, right?
Yeah, where he just didn't seem like he wanted to go on with it. He was never really embarrassed, and I understand some people look at the Santa Anita Derby and say, well, he got waxed by 6 and change. Exaggerator loves a wet track, and he got the pace that day. I'm not going to hold it against a horse that he's been 7 times out of 8 in the exacta, and the one time he wasn't was the Kentucky Derby. I think he gets pace in here. And I think he's the one that I want coming from the back.
A little bit lazy. I think you're right in some of
maybe
his
he's
races.
Grown up.
And that's maybe the key to this layoff. Maybe he has grown up. He's going to be 4 years old in a few days. And maybe More Spirit from the back of the pack under Mike Smith. Again, if you believe he's the class of the race, he certainly fits. And he's run fast races. I mean, 97 Byron March fits very well with this field. Awesome Banner, the number 9, comes in for Mark Casse. He has finished first in his last 3 races. He was disqualified at Mahoning Valley most recently. I guess he can be part of the pace. I always thought that he was kind of a grade 2, grade 3 type, but 7 furlongs seems to be what he wants.
I'm not sure he's even grade 2, grade 3, and I don't mean that in a rude way. I just don't know that he's quite as good as the best ones in here, and I agree. I think his game is being forward. In a race like this, where there's quality speed, I feel my concern for a horse like this is that he's just going to come apart.
Horse Greedy, the number 10, is going to be a fairly big price in here, going turf to dirt. He was a winner at Los Alamitos 2 starts back, only earned an 83 buyer.
He's going to need to improve by leaps and bounds, no question about it. It is worth noting, we'll see Jimmy Bouncer. He's going to be running in the San Simeon earlier in the day. I know it was a turf race. I like the way that he finished, though, going 5/8.
Plenty of options in the Grade 1 Malibu, Matt. You can go so many different ways. The speed, you got class horses like Mind Your Biscuits dropping out of the Breeders' Cup Sprint, More Spirit, etc. Where are you going?
I have so many concerns or questions about so many different runners in here. In Baffert, I trust. He did it with a horse I think that's not quite as talented as More Spirit. With I'm Stepping It Up a few years back, I'm going to go with the 8 More Spirit in here. I think the pace is legitimate enough to set up for him. Particularly, look, Jazzy Times at the end of the day, I'm not suggesting he's in here to be a rabbit. I'm sure they're running him because they think he can win.
Help the pace.
But boy, he'll certainly help anybody coming from the back. I went 8-7-4-2.
In Baffert, I trust as well, but I'm not sure I trust more Spirit. I think this pace is going to be hot. You've got Navy him, maybe not the classiest of pace
But he's got
horses,
big speed.
but he's got big speed. Jazzy Times has got some speed. You know Sharp as Tech and Awesome Banner are going to be close. I'm hoping 10 Blessings can sort of track in behind in the second flight under Bejarano, get the jump on More Spirit turning into the stretch, and hopefully run something close to that last race, because something close to that 106 Beyer speed figure makes him a strong contender.
Certainly.
In the Grade 1 Malibu. I will go 4, 7, 2, and 5 in the traditional opening day feature at the Great Race Place. And if you're petting this fantastic card from home, no better place than DRF Bets. $100 worth of free bets, $100 sign-up bonus. And when you go to drfbets.com/free bet, they're going to give you a $25 free bet right off the bat. Approximate post time for the Grade 1 Malibu. Race number 8 on Monday at Santa Anita, 4 o'clock Pacific. Good luck.